my goodness, does this thing still turn on? Hello, hello, and welcome in. Special shout out to my YouTube coconuts who are watching the replay live. Actually, you can't watch a replay live. Who are watching the replay in the future. Welcome in. I am so excited to be back. It has been a week and a half, which always just feels too long. It just feels too long. I was not feeling great, so I had to listen to my body and take a little break. But as you can see, it is 2024. It's time to crack open our coloring calendars and get into it. Get into it. So we're starting off with a crispy calendar, and we are getting right into January. What a beauty. I'm so excited to get this started. If you guys have the coloring calendar and you haven't done January yet, feel free to break this out with me. If you don't have a coloring calendar and you would like one, we have them available in the link in my bio. And if you are a coloring appreciator and not a colorer yourself, don't worry, we have an already colored version that's also available in the link in my bio. I got everyone covered, okay? You know I love to consider the coconut, so I got a little something for everybody. So we are jumping right into the top of the new year with January, and I'm excited. I feel like very re-energized by the new year, and usually, not to be like all Scrooge-like, but usually I don't really be caring. It's like yesterday was 2023, today's 2024, it's another day, like let's just keep it moving. But this year I really do feel like I'm walking into a new era, a new chapter. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. And if you're not, hey, that's cool too. That's cool too. All right. Can I see the nails? These are my confetti fingers, I call them. My little New Year's inspo. So we getting right into it. Getting right into it. I got to see Katie on the 30th. Oh, I was so stressed. I posted my vlog today where you can see me just the trials and tribulations of those press-on nails I had last week. I can't. I'm not that girl. I want to be that girl. I'm not that girl. I'm not that girl. And it would save me so much money to be that girl. But the way I went in my wallet to pay for some Legos at the store for Michael, and I went in my purse with 5 nails and came out with 4, I can't. I cannot. So I'm glad to have my acrylics, my real stuff back. Okay. So I have no true vision for this. I feel like I'm just gonna vibe. It's the first page I've colored in a minute. So I'm just gonna go with the flow and do what it do. And see what it's giving. I'm feeling blue, I'm feeling yellow, but that's the way I colored it in the actual calendar. But that's what I'm feeling. It feels new, it feels fresh, it feels like the beginning. So we'll see. I'm just going to pick up a color for the skin. I'm gonna go in with terracotta. Yes, volumes 1 through 4 for Christmas. I know a lot of y'all, from the way we was packing these orders, a lot of y'all should have got coloring books for Christmas. And if you didn't, whoever bought them for you kept them for themselves. Because we got a ton of gift orders this year. Yes. Is purple and orange a bad combo? Purple and orange is not a bad combo. I've done purple and orange before. It's actually really pretty. It's actually really pretty. I don't know why I feel compelled to start in this little sliver, but that's where my spirit took me. Okay. You know, sometimes when you haven't colored for a while, you just gotta be real intuitive. So the coloring calendar is the same paper that we know and love from the coloring books. So it's that good stuff. And here's the important thing to note about the calendar. If it bothers you that, because I color mine as I go. If you color your calendar all at once, do not use marker, because each month what happens is this part will be nice and clear, and then when it's time for February and I color this in, it's gonna bleed through on January. But me, what's in the past is none of my business, okay? So I'm cool with it bleeding on to the previous month. But if that bothers you, use other mediums, colored pencils, crayons, etc. Even water-based markers won't leak through that bad. But if you do it as you go along and it doesn't bother you that it will leak through to the previous month's pages, go ahead and do your thing. The cover, no, the cover is thicker paper to keep it sturdy. So the cover front and back are thick, and then the inside paper is the coloring book paper. You know? So, and I was trying to decide if I was going to color the cover. I don't think I am going to color the cover because the cover is also the March page, and I don't want to have to color it twice. So I'm going to just color it when it comes time for March. Okay. Happy New Year, y'all. Welcome in. I missed you guys. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. I had a really chill, nice vibe with the family. It was the first Christmas in the new house, so felt extra blessed, extra chill, good vibes all around. And then, boom, I don't feel good. But that's usually how that goes this time of year for me. Every year I act shocked and amazed, like, I can't believe I'm sick at the holidays. Girl, be for real. Let's not pretend that this isn't a tradition in and of itself. These are hoo-hoo markers. So, alright. Doing our thing here. These are, ooh, you've been sick too, ear infection and a cough. Ooh, I don't like ear stuff and I don't like teeth stuff. Like, give me a cold all day, stuff me up, do what you gotta do. But please don't play with my ears and please don't play with my teeth. Please. I can't do that stuff. A ear problem, like, really will have me, like, crying, screaming, sliding down the wall. I'll be looking in the mirror, like, damn, remember when your ear didn't hurt? Good times. Good times. I can't do it. Stomach flu, ooh, yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, stomach stuff is nothing to play with either. Mm-mm. Thank you, Aaron. Alright. Okay. I gotta be real gentle because this is a juicy marker and it's bleeding outside of the lines, but you can't steal my joy. It's gonna be alright. I asked Michael because I had this downstairs, so I was like, oh, Michael, can you grab my coloring calendar off the table for me? He gonna grab it and then run up the stairs like Speed Racer and not only drop it, but step on it and then fall on top of it. Okay, thank you. Had the wire all bent up. I'm like, okay. Thank you for that. He said, what? You said fast. Yeah, I would like it to be intact. Intact. Like, you body slammed my calendar. He thought that was funny. He also started watching the vlog over and over again for like the last 30 minutes before he went to bed. He just kept watching the vlog over. And he was giving his commentary. He's like, you look nice here, mommy. And what is daddy talking about? Why is daddy talking about Shantae in the video? I'm like, oh my God, the commentary. He's like, it shouldn't be embarrassing. It shouldn't be embarrassing. You look nice. I'm like, that's not why it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that you're watching the vlog of me talking while I'm sitting right next to you. That's embarrassing. He's like, well, I don't feel embarrassed. I'm glad you don't feel embarrassed. I'm glad you don't. And then he want to go all the way back to the archives, watching my pregnancy videos and when I announced my pregnancy to my parents and the gender reveal. And he was going all the way back. He's like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even talk. I'm like, yeah, it's hard for all of us to believe there's a time where you had nothing to say. Seems like a fantasy. A whole fantasy. Yes, squealed when you saw I was live. I love that. I squealed when I said, you know what? It's Monday. Get back to our regularly scheduled programming. It's time. I feel better. It's the new year. We got to get back to our routines. You know, I got to do it earlier now because I'm a morning girl. I had to sleep in today because obviously last night was New Year for us in New York. So I was giving very much exhausted, tired. So I gave myself that grace to get up when I got up. Not a minute before. I set no alarms. And I set no appointments. I had nowhere to be. So. Oh, thank you so much, Soph. Thank you. I started this page earlier today. Yes. I know. I feel like there's so many directions this page can go in. I just want it to look like a bountiful garden. So the initial color I used for her skin was Terracotta YR5 by Ohuhu. And now I'm doing some preliminary shading with Brun, which is YR10. Stunning, easy, nothing too much. Just trying to get a little flavor, a little sazon on the page. Nothing too much. Plus the tip of this marker is a little flimsy. Needs to be flipped. I should have another version of it somewhere. Of course, it's not going to reveal itself to me. That's fine. Be petty if you'd like. Okay. So I think that that's a good spot for now. When I was coloring the Mr. and Mrs. Claus, which I never finished because I didn't feel good, I did all marker first, and then I went back and did the color pencil. And when I tell you I was zooming, I said, wait a minute. Did I just unlock a new superpower? Speed coloring? Wait a minute. So I'm gonna give that a go right now too. and see if it was just that page or if I'm on to something. You know, we got to test the theory. So, we'll see. We shall see. Okay, and right now I'm using E060 Light Mahogany by Ohuhu. Okay. Love it. All right. I am Jaden. Thank you. I'm glad you picked up on that. This is very much a go with the flow. In my mind, she is blonde. She's just always been blonde. In my head, even when I colored it for the other calendar. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna use E210, which is brick beige. These are Prismacolor. These are Ohuhu markers. So this is my base color I'm gonna put down. It's a nice ashy blonde for a base. Sometimes you can see what's on the other side peek through until it dries. Okay. Stunning. Okay. Let that dry a bit. I'm gonna do a darker brow though. And do potato brown on the brow. Okay. That looks good to me. Her lips are so tiny here that I think I'm gonna just do color pencil for her lips. That's what makes sense to me. Okay. So I will skip that for now. And then I'm gonna start thinking about what I want her, I guess, bodysuit color to be. I want her to be like super neutral so that whatever we do in the background, it really pops. So I'm thinking this barely beige will be a nice neutral, light, airy color. It's kind of has like rosy undertones, and this is color R19 Barely Beige by Ohuhu. So I want to be able to really do whatever I want with the flowers in the background. So I want her to be very neutral. The Purple Gang is strong in here today. I can tell you I don't feel purple in my spirit at all for this page. Like not even one flower petal. And I'm so sorry. It's not in my spirit. Oh, thank you for the new profile picture, love. Love that. Thank you. So just coming in here, connecting this all down. This just feels like really feminine and like pretty and pink. I know it's called Barely Beige, but they really meant that because it's really just not beige. When they said barely beige, they meant barely because it's not beige. They're like, you know how we do. You know how we do. Did you draw this first or is this a coloring book? I did draw it and it is a coloring calendar. So this is January. It's a calendar. Each month has a different page. We can do a flip through later. So you guys can see what's going on in the book. All right. All right. I was trying to read the comments, but they was moving too quick. All righty. Now, what would be a good shadow color for you? Fairly beige. Let's find one. Perfect. R20 powder pink. So I'm just going to come through and add some dimension to her. And this again is R20. And I just picked this color because the color I did the base was R19. So I figured R20 would be a close color to be able to do a little shading with. And it was. It does not always work out like that. So that's not a hard and fast rule. But when it works, it works. Okay. So let's see. Now that the hair has dried a bit, I'm gonna come in with some light stippling to just add texture to the hair. And we'll add in more and more texture as we add the colored pencils, and you know. Y'all not new to this, you true to this. You know, this is a layering process. So, and I'm stippling with rose beige. Okay. Stunning. And as we layer, more and more dimension will be added. And it will give it that yummy that I love. Eventually this will look like really cute, very tight curls. Stunning. I can't wait. I'm already drooling at the white highlight stage, because everything just becomes everything when you add the white highlights. Yes, these are my nails. Someone asked for a screenshot. Here you go. Katie did her thing. I came in gift in tow, just so she knows how hard it's been. Walking, I was like, Katie. She's like, hi, my love. Do you know what you want? I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here in your presence. Obsessed with her. All right. This color is Yellow Ochre Y9. It's a nice gold dupe. Honestly, guys, I feel like I need to go in with at least a little color pencil along the way. It's feeling like I'm forcing myself to do something. And as a Leo, I can't live like this. I can't, and I won't. So I might have to go in with a little scribble scrabble. Just a little something, you know. That's too small. Let me do can I even do that? I don't know if I can even fit that in there. All right. me a while to figure out what the drawing was. Interesting. Okay. Let's see if I can get in there. Yes, perfect. All right. So I'm going to be using my Prismacolor colored pencils and maybe my Amazon Basics for any colored pencil action that you see here. So I'm just going through, trying to find, oops, sorry, bumped y'all a little bit, trying to find some lip colors. Oh Lord, almost dumped this whole thing over. Where's all my brown? Oh, they're over here. Still haven't found my favorite pencil sharpener. I feel like you should had make the leotard a bright color, but looks beautiful. What a weird thing to say. But the link is in my bio, so you can buy it and make it whatever color you want. But because I believe in balance in my art and I want the background to be bright, I did neutrals for her leotard. But again, link in bio. Prove me wrong. Love that for you. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of pink on the bottom lip to give that two-tone. All right. So now I'm gonna go in and just start to add some more dimension. I know I said I was gonna wait till the end. I lied. I'm sorry. Accept my apologies, but I like it to come together as I go. I don't want to look back and then feel like I still got mad stuff to do. So we can do maybe a few steps in marker and then come back and texturize. Okay, these are my Prismacolor colored pencils. Thank you guys for the gifts. I want this color. Yeah, it's fine. Because this is like horizontal orientation, I'm really tempted to twist this page, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. All right. Do you finish the coloring then in the live, or do you just end when you're tired? Yeah, I usually just end when I'm tired. If I'm being honest. It takes me a long time to color, so usually I can't finish a whole page in one session. So, but I come on for at least a couple of hours. And then the next day we resume where we left off. And then usually day 2, it's done. On occasion, it may be, depending on how much we got going on in the picture or how much hoopla is going on in the chat. Every once in a while, it carries over to day 3. I don't always love that. Sometimes pages get abandoned like that because I'm over it. I do want to be a little speedier at coloring this year. I'm going into I'm almost at 2 years of coloring now, so I feel like it's time to start incorporating a little more speed. You know what I'm saying? Just a little something, something. But again, I'm a layering gal. What can I say? And layers take time. These are Prismacolor colored pencils. Alright. And I'm just coming in and adding depth, adding shadow, adding dimension, adding body, yaddy, yaddy. You name it, I'm throwing it on here. I go live Monday through Thursday. I think my new time, to be safe, will be 9 or a little before. I tried 8, I tried 7, I can't do it. That's too early. But the 10 p.m. days are over. I need to be in that bed. In that bed. If I'm gonna be sticking to my early girl, in my early girl era, which it's been over a month now, and I'm still in it. I'm in it to win it. I feel a lot better. I'm sleeping better. So I gotta make the proper adjustments that support that lifestyle change. You know? Because the way I used to be on here kikiing with y'all, and then be like, what time is it? And y'all gonna tell me 1 a.m. And then I gotta hang up with y'all and go get in that bed and try and catch at least a Z or 2 before it's time to get my son up and get ready for school. It doesn't make any sense. Husband be on his 18th REM cycle and I still gotta take a shower. That doesn't make any sense. You know? I know we do need a restock. We do. I've been cooking in the lab. I gotta figure, that's one thing I really gotta figure out how to balance is how do I make new coloring books and color in old coloring books and post content and make new products and make TikToks and have a personal life all within 24 hours a day. You know, they love to say, oh, we got the same 24 hours a day as Beyonce. But Beyonce has $1 billion worth of resources and a whole team that supports her to do her day-to-day things so that she can be Beyonce. So I think we need to give ourselves grace in that regard and not compare our 24 hours to these celebrities who have a whole team to support their every waking move. And I say that with love, okay? I say that with love. Let's be for real. Every time. Those like fake motivational hustle grind culture posts. It was like, y'all are so unserious and it shows, and y'all don't hear yourselves at all. So me and my measly 24 hours, we gonna do what we gotta do and nothing more, nothing less. And that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna figure it out. Cause that's what I do each and every time. You don't have to be sorry. Go to sleep. Get your rest. That's way more important. The replays are gonna be on YouTube so you can catch up. No need for FOMO. My YouTube is Coco Michelle. If you search coloring with Coco, I pop right up. At least I should. I hope so. I know when I do it, I pop right up. But it might know it's me. You have the worst FOMO. You'll grow out of it. I had FOMO bad when I was younger. Now I have a fear of having to do it. I'd rather be the one missing out than the one participating. The fear of having to go. That's what I have. Leave me out of it. The joy of missing out. That's what I got. And I love it. When I get invited places, I'm like, damn. When is it? What time? Who all gonna be there? But I gotta not do that either. Because obviously I'm surely gonna be offended if I'm not invited. As you can understand. You know. Happy New Year. I'm fiending for one of your books. I can do damage with it. I know I don't even know what's in stock right now. Probably a whole lot of nothing. The calendar should still be in stock, but the coloring calendars. But I know we sold through if not all, most of our inventory during the Christmas break. All right. I feel a little cough coming on. These are Katie nails. My press-on era is officially over. I could not hang. I couldn't. I wanted to be that girl. I'm not that girl. I'm not. And I'm going to kind of tone down the rosiness of this using this Amazon Basics colored pencil in Flash. My least favorite color name. Because it's like, why? First of all, that word is just, I don't know. It gives zombie apocalypse. Second of all, whose flesh? Whose flesh? You know what I'm saying? Whose flesh we talking about? These are acrylic with tips. They used to be an acrylic overlay on my real nail, but I had to cut all my nails off. So now they're tips. But I'm going to be back. Give me 6 weeks. I'll be back. She was like, how long you want to go? Long. Okay, Katie, I've been missing you. I want the full Katie effect. The full Katie effect. Leave me alone. Sorry, someone was trying to join the live. All right. Cute, stunning, everything above. And now I'm gonna come in. Is this the color I want to come in with? Or do I want to come in with this color? Cream beige. Let's see what it's giving. Yes, mommy. Stunning. And I'm just blending out those shadows that I first put down with the marker. We're blending. We're creating the vibe, the vibe, the vibe. Thank you, thank you. I love bringing the pages to life. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay. Now I'm gonna come in. Stunning. It sounds Scottish. Oh, it does. I think I got it from that Negroni video that went viral, whenever that was. Which is like a Negroni with Prosecco and something else. She's like, oh, stunning. And then I never stopped. Never stopped. I was like, that is me. I would like to say that as often as possible. And I stole it right from under her. What am I sipping on? See, this is an opportunity for me to tell y'all the truth. It's not alcohol. But you know these people on TikTok who be making water? Water talk? Where it's like, okay, you're doing a lot. It's no longer water. So I am always ice cold water, no lemon, no nothing. Don't put nothing in my water. Okay? I just want water. And then recently, which has also happened when I was pregnant. I am not pregnant right now, just to be clear. But when I was pregnant, drinking plain water, like, gave me, I don't know, like, not acid reflux, but like heartburn. It was like very strange. But right now I'm going through a phase where plain water is just not sitting well on me. And I got them little Crystal Light packets. And I'll be in there cooking, chefing this water. Tearing it up. Sippity sip sip. The peach tea with the lemonade. Yeah, it's keeping me hydrated. Every time. Yep. Chef Boyardee up in here. I'll be making that water. I wanted to lie about that so bad right now, but I couldn't. I don't know why I feel shame in my water creations. But I gotta do what I gotta do. I can't be dehydrated. It's wintertime. I have to do what I gotta do. I could have just said water. Don't make no damn sense. So in the actual calendar, do I have it here? I'm gonna show Sanai. I don't know if you're new here, but I don't like people telling me what to do. Because I was just about to tell you I want to do the leggings next. Okay. Oh, I'm kind of already doing the same thing by accident. It's fine. I did the leggings like a natural color. You know, kind of like the ballerinas. when I did it the first time. So I don't know how I feel about that. Any tips to prevent streaking when using water based? No. And I'm so sorry for that, because the water based markers, anytime you overlap, they're gonna streak. It's inevitable. The only thing I can say is, if you go over it with a high quality colored pencil like a Prismacolor, you might be able to kind of camouflage some of that streaking and make it just like a little bit more blended. But water based, it's not gonna work the way that the alcohol works, if that makes sense. You do ASMR. The hell? These kids. I saw a TikTok about this woman who was, I want to say she looked like she was about my age, but you never know on the internet, so I'm not even going to put that on her. But she's a young adult. And she was talking about how she was looking for these drunk elephant drops. I guess they're like glow drops or something. Something that add a little extra glowiness to the skin. And she had been looking for them for a long time, and she noticed when she went to Sephora last week that they had like one box left. So she's going over to grab them off the shelf, and a 10-year-old, I did go see Katie, and a 10-year-old came and snatched them off the shelf right before she could get them. And the 10-year-olds are going to say, oh, beat you to it. The way, when I was watching this TikTok, the way my soul kept leaving my body and returning to hear the rest of the story and then leaving again, because I just could not imagine. Because then it escalates where now this young woman is, in her words, begging this girl to give her the drops. Because what is a 10-year-old doing with these expensive glow drops anyway? Now, I'll tell you, it just couldn't be me. It just couldn't be me. I'm not begging a 10-year-old for anything in a Sephora. It's yours. I will bow out gracefully, and I'm going to stick my tongue out when you turn around, and then I'm going to move on. That's it. I'm not begging you for these damn drops. So she's begging her for the drops. And the girl says, give me your Gucci heart ring and I'll give you the drops. Where's your mom? Because someone has to get beat up for you saying that. And I can't put my hands on you, so now I need to see your mother. Someone has to get beat up. My Gucci ring? For... No. No. Like, the negotiations, this is wild. This is wild. I couldn't believe it. So, long story short, she doesn't give her the ring. Thank God, because I really felt like I was going to have to permanently log off if she didn't have that ring on her finger. It was still there. I say all that to say, the youth, they're built different. They're built different. Because at first I thought it was like an internet thing, right? Like this child just came in here and said, do ASMR. I would never type that to somebody. That's weird, because I wouldn't say that to someone in real life. And I like to act on the internet the way I do in reality. But these kids would do that in reality. These kids would walk up to you and say, do ASMR to your face. And what do you do about that? What do you do about that? I don't know. I'm scared. I'm shaking in my boots. I can never. Ever. But I'm sure you could search what's wrong with that. ASMR is big nowadays. It was just a request. Girl, what are you talking about? I'm talking about someone coming in and demanding me to do anything. You don't come into a live and demand people to do this. So what the hell, do I look like a puppet? Marionette? I'm a grown woman. Why are you coming in here talking about do? Who the hell are you? That's the problem. I don't care if she said do 1980s breakdancing. The request is the problem. Who are you talking to? That's the problem. I don't have an issue with ASMR. My issue is, who are you talking to? And my point was, the childrens are talking in a way that they would also talk in person. And that's what gives me the heebie jeebies. That's what speaks me. It speaks me. I feel like if you search like drunk elephant drops 10-year-old or Sephora or something like that, it should pop up. It's a cute brunette girl. She's just sitting there telling her story. And it was, I want to see if she did a follow-up. I want to see the little girl. She probably made a response. Knowing these people, knowing the way the internet works. Another thing I saw today was, and I know some of y'all saw it. There was a young woman who was going over to a gentleman's house for a chill night. Supposed to just be movies, cocktails, a little light bite. And she goes over there. She's been talking to him, not in any kind of romantic way. Like, it seems like there's tension there, but nothing has ever transpired. So just friendly, I guess. And she gets there, and his apartment building has like a little coffee shop in it. She was tired. She was like, I want a little pick me up before we go upstairs. So they go into this little spot to get a coffee before they go to his apartment. So as they're standing there, they see this girl walk past them, and he says, oh, here goes my ex. She lives in the same building as me. So the girl was like, okay. So he starts calling her name, Ashley. Now, this is where she lost me, because whatever we're doing, we know this is not like just pure friendship. This is like a weird situationship. Nothing has transpired yet, but you never know. It could be any second now. You know, that's what the vibe was giving. And yeah, the Atlanta thing. And he's calling after his ex for what? For what? So he's calling her, and she dubs him. She walks right past him like she's never seen this man in his life. Kiki Palmer, I don't know this man. Sorry to this man. She goes about her business. Now, he's obviously stressed because she's like, oh, are you guys cool? And he's like, we were until now. Like, what's happening right now? So they go to the elevator a couple minutes later, and they run into her again. So he's like, hey, like trying to get her attention, tries to formally introduce the young lady who's there to see him to his ex. Obviously, it's awkward for both of these women. It doesn't go well. They go to his apartment. She goes to her apartment. You would hope this is the end of the story. Well, come to find out, the woman is telling. Sorry, I got a phone call. She's telling this story from inside his apartment, drinking the coffee she got downstairs. This is all happening in real time. And where is he? He is at his ex's apartment because he said, I have to go speak to her now. So you're sitting in this man's apartment, drinking the coffee, waiting for him to come back? How? 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 Even if we were friends, even if we were just friends, like purely no nothing weird, no funny stuff. I came here to hang with you, and you gonna go to your exes and leave me here? Nah. No. So, of course, the algorithm is going to do what the algorithm does. 2 videos later, I see the ex-girlfriend is doing a response video from her perspective. And honestly, I'm eating it up, okay? This is what I come on this app for. I need more of that. I need more of that. So, she sounds like someone I wouldn't be friends with. I want to start there. I feel like I would be friends with the person who was waiting in his apartment, even though I just really want to just love tap her on the side of her head like, baby, get up. Stand up, okay? It's giving weak in the knees. So the ex-girlfriend comes on, and you could just tell her energy is just real weird, you know? And yeah, let's TikTok a shop, please. I beg. She was giving very nice, nasty, but to the girl. And I just didn't understand why the girl was getting any heat, because she's the real victim. She's the real victim of whatever situation y'all got going on. But she was just like, first of all, my name is Ashley, not Ashton. Who cares? Next, like that's not, we don't care what your name is. What's really going on? So she's saying how her and the dude broke up 48 hours ago. Bro, 48 hours ago. And that they break up all the time. So it's really nothing new. But whenever they do break up, she don't be thinking about him. She does not care. She doesn't see him. She doesn't, think about him. I'm trying to figure out, if you don't care, how come you back with him every other week? But y'all been doing this for like over a year, she says. So I'm very much confused. He's in there. She said he's in there saying she's just my friend, which technically is true at this point. And she's my sister in Christ. Christ up in the clouds looking down like, now why am I in it? Christ like, what? Why am I always in it? This has nothing to do with me. Y'all always bringing me up. I had nothing to do with this. So she be sending me Bible scriptures. She helps me. She sends me motivational stuff. And it's like he's trying to justify that he has this woman in his apartment. And okay, like if you feel the need to do that, it's giving y'all are still together. It's giving y'all still go together. Because y'all are toxic and dysfunctional. And either way, if this is your friend and you have been friends with her for a year, then it shouldn't be a problem when you guys were still dating. When you and Ashley were a couple, how come she didn't hear about this friend of yours until now she catches you 48 hours after y'all break up? So it ends with her basically saying, my advice to you, to this other girl, I don't even know her name. You're responding to her video. It's very easy for you to just look up her name because she doesn't deserve to be disrespected, because again, she's the victim in this. I would never let a man be talking to his ex while I'm sitting in his apartment, blah, blah, blah. Which, valid point. However, this is your man. This is not just any man. You're talking about, I would never be with a man. You are with that man. That's your man. I'm so confused as to why you're like acting like you have higher standards and a higher value. This is literally your man with a girl in his apartment. And you feel like you're the chosen one because he chased after you after seeing you in the lobby? Shorty's still in his apartment right now. You're saying you would never let a man do that to you, but that is your man doing that to you. Are you confused? He's not doing it to old girl. They don't even go together. That's your man. Y'all break up all the time, which means y'all don't actually break up. is giving soul ties. Whatever's going on with y'all, she got dragged into it. And you're making it seem like she's bugging, which, as an outsider, I can say she's bugging because my man's not doing that. But the call was definitely coming from within the house with old girl, with Ashley, aka Ashton. And I loved it. I loved it. She quickly deleted that, so you're going to have to search that and find a repost. Hopefully someone who loves her called her and told her to take that down. Yeah, go ahead and take that down, sis. It's not giving what you thought it was going to give at all. So go ahead and archive that real quick before the blogs get to it. The deed was done. It was done. It's been reposted. It's been reposted. So I would like to see what this man looks like. I want to see her. I want to see who this man is. It better be Morris Chestnut. Because what really sends me and pisses me off is that when I see what we're fighting for, prayers lifted. Prayers lifted. Maybe it's his credit score. I don't know. But it never... he was cute, but it wasn't worth all that. Okay. At least he's not busted. Because that really sends me into the stratosphere. Each and every time. But I was like, okay, TikTok starting off 2024 with the goods. Because really y'all are TikTok shopping me to death. And I'm begging for mercy. How many times can I say I'm not interested? Okay. I finally escaped the shadow work journal. Now I got the gratitude journal popping up. Please, I'm begging. Please, release me. Release me from your grip. I'm not buying it. And I made the mistake. I made a couple purchases off of TikTok shop. And now they really, I think they can smell that wallet. They're like, if we show her the right stuff, she might come up off it. Every once in a while, she bites. I should have never did that. I should have just went, typed it in on Amazon, and got it somewhere else. Like, I fear they're never going to leave me alone. At this point, let me not even say that, because then next thing you know, TikTok will be doing that. I was going to say I would do something like YouTube Premium, where you can pay a small nominal fee to not see it anymore. I would do it. I'm not going to pay for a blue check on Instagram, but I would pay a small fee for an ad-free TikTok shop free experience. I would. Because it's pissing me off. Really and truly. And I told myself, I will never run a TikTok ad. I don't care how effective they are. Because I dislike them so much, I don't want to contribute to the noise. Okay? I don't want to contribute to the noise. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Because I couldn't take it. These are Prismacolor color pencils. But you know what does happen when I do these sponsored posts and they turn those into TikTok ads? Oh my God. The way people get so angry. The first few times they see it, they like it, they comment. They're like, oh, nice. Then the comments start getting so angry. They're like, stop following me, please, I'm begging you. They're like, if I hear "Hey Coconuts" in my nightmares. That Eminem one, they OD'd. Like that had like 30 million views, and it was like the same 6 people getting it over and over again. They OD'd. They OD'd. I was like, it's not me. It's not me. I'm sorry. That Sketcher ad, if you got that one. Did I get the Sketcher one? There was a Hello Fresh one that I got, and she's a mutual of mine. And she actually did a video addressing it. Addressing how frequently people were seeing that video. She was like, I'm sorry, y'all. It was wild. It was so wild. Okay. She's good for now. I'm going to do the bracelets after I do the background. So for the leaves, I'm going to do 2 different kinds of greens. Beyond Body must be because it's New Year's resolutions. Yeah, I'm prepared for all the waist trainers and fat burning pills and all that nonsense that's about to come out. It's like, can we just ease into the new year? Like, can I get my big toe in the new year? Like, I can't even get comfortable. Nothing. Oh, the mini steppers. I shouldn't even said it out loud because I just got off a mini stepper TikTok. So many mini steppers. Right now, the big thing I'm getting is those spicy fire ramen. Like every post I see is somebody making the spicy cheesy ramen and linking it to the TikTok shop. I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. That's probably why they keep showing it to me, because they think eventually I might just go ahead and do it. But what they don't know is I have the spice tolerance of a newborn baby. It's not happening, okay? I did get the scrubber, but I got the scrubber years ago. You talking about the spin scrubber? Ooh, the unbrush. Ooh. The ramen is good, but you can buy it cheaper in the shops. I just can't do the spice. I can't do the spice. The unbrush, my hair really doesn't get that tangled. I have like a pretty loose curl pattern. So I feel like it just wouldn't give me any real noticeable satisfaction. And I had to take a stance. Because the unbrush, that was one of the biggest offenders of 2023. The unbrush was, wow. Wow. I hope they made their bag off of that. This actually feels physically lighter. Like there's actually no ink in this barrel. It's crazy. Not the family group chat going crazy. What y'all talking about? Getting all these notifications. Are there any Balos in this live that could tell me what's going on in the group chat? Any family members in here? I would like to know why it's blowing up. All right. These are hoo-hoo markers. I'm going to set that one upside down. Good thing I said I wanted to use a mix of different greens. Ordered my daughter your collection for Christmas. Oh, I love that. I hope she loves it. Scoot you guys over. All right. This is grass green. The first one was bronze green. I do love bronze green. I really do. I need a new one. It's like that perfect olivey kind of green. She thought it was some kind of sorcery. Listen, the way everyone they do that first pass through their hair and they look like complete and utter shock, I know it's good. I know it is. Maybe I could get it from my stepdaughter, maybe, because her hair is a lot curlier than mine. Oh, I should tell my best friend. She got like a whole bush of curls sitting on top of her head. But her hair is real silky when it's wet, so maybe I'll have her try it when it's dry. It's like one of those things where I just want to see for myself. I want to feel. Because the way y'all be looking like, like, how did that just happen? I want that. I want that for sure. I wonder how it works though. Is it just because it has like flexible bristles? So it just like glides through. And scoot you back this way. I'm so cold, oh my gosh. Also, I posted my first vlog in a long time, and it seems like you guys are liking it. So I'm going to post weekly ones. The one that I'm posting this week will be my vision board, which I've been actively working on. So I'm going to like talk through my thought process. I'm going to share my screen because I create them digitally on how I create my award-winning vision boards. I haven't won any awards for them. But I have accomplished things that I said I was going to do. It's just way more effective for me than doing resolutions because I don't know how many times we have to be scientifically proven that the resolution method does absolutely nothing and that 64% of people will give up before the month of January even ends. So I think I've let that go. And my vision board is what I use it for is visual cues and reminders of the behaviors and habits that I want to exhibit to become the person that I'm envisioning myself to be. So they're just visual reminders of things that will trigger a response in me, like, okay, don't forget that this is something that you saw for yourself, and that requires you to exhibit certain behaviors and to be consistent in specific areas. And that's what I use it for. You know, I don't want it to be like so result oriented where I'm focusing on the end instead of the process. So I really just try and center myself around process because the journey is the everything. As someone who has achieved a lot of things that I've set out for, I can tell you that when you accomplish these things, there's like this very brief moment of joy and then a sense of complete emptiness. It's a very weird phenomenon, but if you are hyper focused on the accomplishment instead of the journey, it's such a weird, disappointing feeling when you actually accomplish it. And you're like, okay, now what? Like, it's so strange. But when you are focused on the process, in the journey, in the growth, in the development, in the plot, the accomplishment is just so much sweeter. And at the same time, it doesn't make or break anything, right? Like, you're doing it for the process. So if you don't accomplish it in the amount of time that you thought, or the way or the journey that you thought it was going to be, you don't get caught up on that. It doesn't deter you, it doesn't distract you, and it doesn't unmotivate you, because it's not about that, right? So I think certain goals are important, like to have like a result oriented. Like, I said I wanted to buy a house. There's a journey to that, but like at the end of it, I need to end up with a house to feel satisfied. But something like, I want to be self employed. As someone who's been self employed for years, being self employed is ghetto and stressful. And not all rainbows and sunshine and the things that it's cracked up to be. And once I became self employed, if that was the only thing I wanted to tick off the list, it would have been a real sad day. So now, thinking about like, I want to be self employed, I can think about it like in terms of the process of learning how to balance owning something with having a family, or working out my identity outside of being a business owner, and figuring out how to expand and grow my business in a way that I can have a separation of work and life. Like, those are the things that I'm like learning along the way in the journey that make it okay for me to go through the yucky stuff, the painful stuff, the scary stuff. I know that this is a part of the journey. This is character development. This is all for the plot, baby. It's all for the plot. I don't have to get caught up with the like, okay, I'm a business owner now. What am I gonna do? Get my LLC trademark number tattooed on my forehead? Like, what? How? What do I do with this now? What is there to keep me going? So I'd like to focus on behaviors, the journey, the trip, the storyline. Don't get too caught up and obsessed with end goals. Think about the ride. I've been feeling like this for so long, but didn't know how to articulate it. Wow, thanks. Yeah, of course. I spend a lot of time thinking about things, and how I'm feeling, and I journal a lot because it drives me crazy when I have a feeling that I can't get out. So I feel like I spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to articulate how I'm feeling, because I am a sharer. I need to tell somebody. As you guys know, I will wake my husband up in the middle of the night to share a thought, if that's what I feel so inclined to do. So I work a lot on that. Thank you for the love. My goal is to figure myself out. That's a lofty goal. That's a lofty goal. I would like to figure. I mean, I don't think personally, I don't think you can figure yourself out. Because right when you think you figured yourself out, yourself changes. You evolve constantly. And I think you just kind of have to see, here I go trying to articulate. I think it's important to give yourself space to just exist and be messy and be uncertain, so that when things start to become clear, it's like an aha moment. But all the things and figuring yourself out in general, I don't think there's a way to really do that. Anytime I've had like a moment of reflection where I have like this self actualization where I realize something about myself that I didn't before, it almost guarantees that that thing that I just realized about myself is going to change. Because now you're aware of it. And it can never go back to when you weren't aware of it. And it just changes on its own. Does that make sense? So, I don't know. I kind of want you to not put that on yourself. Not to change your goals. But I kind of want you to not worry about yourself in that way. You know? Let's move this over. Oh, you're good. I know I love this deep green. I've been watching The Dropout, which I feel like I'm very late to, but it's on Hulu and it's about Elizabeth Holmes, the Theranos, the one drop of blood lady who's sitting cozy comfy in her jail cell for defrauding millions of people. Love that. But there's a scene where she's at the Genius Bar fixing her iPhone that she just smashed over and over again out of anger. And she's talking to the woman who works there. And she's talking to her and she just asks the stranger, like, what did you dream of being when you were a child? And the Apple genius was like, when I was a child, like I didn't have any dreams as a child. And Elizabeth responds like, wow, that sounds nice. And she was like, well, what sounds nice? She was like, not having any dreams. She was like, no, it's actually pretty scary. Like, I'm trying to get my life together. And she was like, no, you can do anything you want because it doesn't really matter because you have no ambition and like you have no purpose in life. And this girl is like, okay. Like she just dissed her, which that wasn't the direction I thought that scene was going to go in, but it's just a reminder that like Elizabeth Holmes is just not okay. But I think there was, before she took it all the way left, there is something nice about just being and not always having a dream and not always feeling like you're called to do something greater or bigger or something so profound or world changing. Like there's so much peace and beauty in just existing and experiencing without feeling like this yearning to like be something bigger all the time. And maybe it spoke to me because I have felt since I was very young that like I needed to have like this deep calling, and it's just always been there, this feeling of like I need to be something, I need to be someone. And I got what she meant by saying like that sounds nice to not have to feel that. And I feel like millennials in general have that calling oftentimes where, I don't know, maybe it was our parents, maybe that calling is like our parents' voices or something. But it's like a constant, like you just can't just enjoy things. Like you just feel like you need to constantly be improving and evolving and striving. And it's like, can I just like be in this moment? Like I just want to be in this moment exactly as I am, you know? But Elizabeth Holmes is crazy. If you haven't seen that series, you should watch it. Hi, Andrea, you're awesome. What was it like quitting your corporate job for art? Were you scared? I actually have a whole YouTube video on this. I think it's pinned to the top of my YouTube channel if you want to hear like a more in-depth version, but it was very scary and stressful. But I did a lot of planning, and what it came down to was, what was I willing to sacrifice to make it happen? And I think that's what most things come down to. Even transactions like, okay, I'm willing to part with this $20 to buy this thing right now. It's all about sacrifice and value and what you're getting out of it. And I think a lot of times we're not honest with ourselves about what we are willing and not willing to do to make certain things happen. And I told myself that I needed to remove that veil, stop lying to myself like, I'll do whatever it takes, because I won't do whatever it takes, you know? I won't endanger my family. I won't put myself in harm's way. I won't, abandon my shelter, go be a starving artist, sleep on the park bench. Like, that's what Basquiat did. Basquiat left everything to go have the true starving artist New York experience. He did not come from under, I don't even know. Like, he didn't come from a family that couldn't provide for him. He chose that to be able to create from a place of where he felt like a creative center was. And that was from a place of like true sacrifice and nothingness. I ain't willing to do that. I'm not willing to be a starving artist. I'm not. I need to make money, and I need to be able to contribute to my family. That's important to me. So once I got real with myself about those aspects, then I was able to say, okay, so what am I realistically willing to sacrifice? And also keeping in mind that I was a married woman, and my sacrifices did not just impact myself, but also my spouse and our kids. So it wasn't just about what was I comfortable with sacrificing, but we as a partnership, what are we willing to sacrifice? Which adds a whole nother layer to the conversation. And we decided, like, okay, New York City is too expensive for us to be able to live the lifestyle that we want, because we wanted to remain comfortable. We didn't want to be moving backwards. But we couldn't maintain that on me being a full-time artist and staying this close to New York City. So we moved. That was the sacrifice that we were willing to make. We're closer to my family. It ended up working out. We bought a house here now. But, when we made that sacrifice in 2020, that was super scary. And I went to my boss and was basically like, when my lease is up in 2020, this was before the world shut down, by the way. When my lease is up in 2020, I am moving back to my hometown. I don't have another job lined up. I don't have anything prepared. I'm just not re-signing my lease, and I'm moving back home. Like, whatever that means to you. I'm not putting in any kind of resignation. It was like 3 months before my lease was going to end. I just said it. And I told her, because I wanted to hold myself accountable. I can't take that back, right? It was like a soft quit. And, it is what it is. And she was like, oh, interesting. Okay. By the end of that day, she came back with permission from her boss's boss for me to be a remote employee full time. Just from me putting it out there. And that was just confirmation. Like, I felt like God gave me that confirmation right then and there. Like, you're doing the right thing. Where he was like, you were willing to sacrifice your job, and I appreciate you putting your faith in me that I'm gonna have your back. So I'm not gonna make you have to do that. Thank you for taking that step, but I'm not gonna make you have to do that. So I was able to quit living in the city without quitting my job, and I got my city salary in the suburbs, which, if you know how cost of living works, the further you are from a major city, the less expensive life is. So during that time, I was like, we'll be able to save up. And then from that point on, when it's time for me to abandon this, I will. And then COVID came, Black Lives Matter came, and it was like this very weird time to exist on this earth, but also as a Black owned business that was focused on stationery, because of COVID, people were sending a lot more cards and gifts, and I sold cards and gifts. And because of the Black Lives Matter movement, people were searching specifically for Black owned businesses. And I was like, wow, it feels really bad that all of this disaster has to happen for my business to be in like the perfect situation. But everything just fell into place where my business just really picked up during that time. And I got furloughed, which is like a temporary layoff, where I was still getting paid through unemployment and they were matching my salary, which I don't understand how that works. And I was still had my benefits. So if anything did happen, if either of us got sick or whatever, I still had my benefits, but I wasn't working. So I was like getting paid and not working. Like, it was just such a weird time. And I always like to be transparent about that because that was like once in a lifetime situation that won't be replicated in our lives. Hopefully, God willing, that everything aligned in a way that allowed me to not have to go back after they asked me to. So they called me in, I want to say July, and said, the furlough is over, you can come back. And I chose not to come back. So I had like this really long runway to build up traction, and everything just kind of fell into place. Now, what I will say is 2021, a lot of that cushion and everything that had fallen into place through that perfect storm completely bottomed out. Completely bottomed out. All of that initiative, attention, amplify Black voices, all of that dried up real quick. A lot of these companies were very performative during that time. So sponsorships dried up, customers dried up, finances were tight. People just didn't have it. And it completely like tore Coco Michelle apart. And I was just maintaining and trying to keep going with everything that I had built. Because at this point I had also went into business with Macy's, and Macy's has 60-day payment terms. So we were shelling out thousands and thousands of dollars every time Macy's placed an order, and we wouldn't get any return on our investment for months. So as a small business, if they place an order that's going to cost us $10,000 to produce, we're a new business, we can't get any line of credit or business loans. We have to pay cash. Like, we're paying $10,000 cash to get this stuff made and not seeing any return on that for months. So I was 2021 I was dogged out. I was stressed. I didn't think the business was going to survive, and I was contemplating if I wanted the business to survive. Like, I was like, is this even worth it? And because of how important Coco Michelle had become to my community, no matter the size, I was like, we have to figure it out. We have to figure it out. And we did. We figured it out. We survived it. It was stressful. We borrowed money. I drained my entire 401k, invested it back into the business, and got through all of that. It was painful. even talking about it right now, I'm like, wow, like that was a lot. I remember like just crying like so many tears all the time. And you can kind of like see in my vlogs from that time period that like throughout the each vlog, like you could see kind of like my light, my inner light kind of dimming. And I just looked really tired and drained, and then by the end of the year, like I was just gone completely. And it was a trying time, and it was a time where I had to prove that this was worth fighting for. And a lot of those times, I mean, during that time, because it extended into 2022, was when I decided to come up with coloring books. I felt like it would be a great way, not only for me to de stress, but for anyone who was experiencing, a rough time, just to like sit down and color. And I wanted it to be a nice coloring book because I wanted to use nice coloring supplies. And out of all of that came a whole new era. I had no idea what I was walking into, but it's always funny how God lines you right up. And while you're in it, you're just so confused because nothing ever makes sense. After that, though, it really takes a lot to shake me when it comes to Coco Michelle. I could go from 1,000 sales a day to no sales, and I wouldn't even break a sweat. I wouldn't even bat an eyelash at it because I've been through this, and I know that my consistency, my faith, my quality, my connection to my audience, like I've built too much. I've reinforced every aspect of my life and my business to be able to support the toughest of times. So now I'm like, bring it on. Whatever we got to do. Whatever we got to do. Account could be negative. Like, I'm getting up, I'm doing what I got to do. Well, what is me worrying about it going to do? Nothing. Nothing. So I get up and I do. And I'll do it all again. Since I quit my job, I've had other jobs in between. If that was what I needed to do to get this stuff together, I did. Commissions, I was doing logos, I was doing all types of stuff. Whatever I needed to do to keep Coco Michelle afloat, I would do. It means too much to not just me, to my community, to my kids. The way Michael looks up to me and his father for owning our own business, like, he thinks that's the dopest stuff ever. He goes to school. When we were in Macy's, he was telling his teachers, make sure you go to Macy's and check out my mom, her pictures in the store, and get her t-shirt. Like, there's too much. There's way too much. We in it now. We locked in. That's why I tell y'all every time we go together real bad. It's me and you. This is what we do. So, my story is not linear whatsoever. It will never be. I don't expect it to be. And I think there's a lot of peace in me knowing that and understanding that it doesn't have to be linear. It can be zigzag, up, down, left, right, side to side, and be just as beautiful, just as successful as the next person. I mind my business. I don't care what anybody else got going on. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I support my community. I support other artists. I love what's going on with all the other coloring books and people not just coloring in coloring books, but creating coloring books, being able to find a stream of income that showcases their talents, that makes other people feel good, that spreads their blessings. Like, all of that, I would do it again without question for this to be here right now in this moment. I would do everything all over again. Your teacher, one of your students would tell you all the time to go buy her mom's stuff. She was so proud. It's the kids for me. It's the kids. They pay attention to everything. They pay attention. And I try to make sure that my son and my stepdaughter understand how difficult this is, how like trying it is, and how we do it anyway. We wake up, we do it anyway. We're not fearless. He sees the tears, he sees the stress, he hears the conversation. It's never about being fearless, it's about doing it in spite of the fear, doing it scared. I think that's like such an important lesson. I grew up thinking my mom was invincible, and I still think that way, and to a detriment, because as I'm older now and I see my mom and I am a mom, and like the fact that I look at her and I'm like, I know that there's so many moments that must have broke you down just experiencing motherhood myself. And I'm like, and I never knew. Like, I just thought she was like Teflon, like nothing could break through her. And I don't think that did any favors for how I treated her when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I just felt like she could take it. And I don't want to feel like my kids look at me like I'm invincible. I don't want that. I want them to know, like, the things you say hurt me. The things you say to other people can hurt. The things I'm experiencing in my life, even though I'm showing up, I'm making you your grilled cheese, I'm brushing your teeth, I'm doing your hair, I'm doing all these things. We're going school shopping, we're doing all these things that they don't come for free. That real life is happening. When you're an adult, you're going to experience things, and you still have to show up, and you still have to be prepared to do things when you're scared. So when he asked me, like, how are you feeling? Even like me telling him I was embarrassed that he was watching my vlogs in front of me, so that he understands, like, your parents are human. We have real emotions. And these are things that you're going to experience. And I want them to be normal for you. I don't want you to have to shy away from them. I want you to be able to articulate them. And I want you to know your mama's soft. Your mama can't take everything all the time. And don't expect your woman to be able to do that either. And yeah, I've been really transparent, and I've been transparent with you guys because I know so many people, especially Black women, we're the fastest growing demographic of business owners. I don't want to get on here like these gurus and these like robots who act like you follow their 5-step program and you're on a yacht by summertime. That's not what this looks like for most of us. It doesn't mean that you can't be successful, but I'm never going to get on here and tell y'all that, oh, everything was really easy for me and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make anybody feel like their journey is inadequate. I'm not going to make it seem like this was all roses and that you can replicate if you follow my steps and all that stuff. Like, it just doesn't work like that. I see people on here who have lapped me, surpassed me, started after me, got further than me, have better relationships with brands than me, probably make more money than me, got the cars, got the shoes, got the bags, and they put in half the effort. Put in half the effort. And I can't give you a justifiable reason why stuff like that happens. And I'm not going to sit here and say, and I don't care because I mind my own business. Hell no, that hurt my feelings. I was stressed for like a full year watching people like, is it me? Like why is everyone else getting all these opportunities? I'm just stuck. Like what is this? And I've always found myself to be like the people's champ. Like I always had y'all rocking with me, always rooting for me, no matter who else was paying attention. It was like I always had my core group and I never had to worry about stuff like that. But I did feel like there was like this moment in time where I was just passed up all the time, and it really negatively impacted me. It impacted how I was looking at other people in my community. It impacted how I was looking at myself. I was going through phases where I was changing my art style because I felt like it wasn't good enough. It was a mess. And I'm very transparent about it. And it's not about being jealous or being a hater or anything. It's not like I wanted people to lose opportunities for the sake of my gain. I was trying to figure out why you and not me. Why can't it be both of us? You know? And I try to be very transparent about that because it will have you out here in your feelings for sure. And that's normal because what are you but a human being? You just supposed to turn your emotions off. As an artist, what Erykah Badu said, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. 100%. And whatever you do is your art. I don't care if you're a biochemist. It's art. You're creating, you're making, and you're so close to it, and it's intertwined with your identity. No matter how many times you try to unscramble those eggs, it's all up in your DNA. And when you feel like you're being passed up or looked over, it's gonna hurt. And over time, it hurts less because you stop looking for validation from outside and you find it within. But it's a journey that we all have to go on at some point. Before you get to the other side, no one wakes up with self validation. Sorry. Some of us get it younger, some of us get it older, some of us will never achieve that. I've seen very, very grown adults who are still looking for validation from outside of themselves. But it hurts and it sucks. It sucks. And I'm glad that I have graduated from that. And me and Sheena, She Meets City, we were going through it at the same time where we both felt like, do we have our cloak of invisibility on or are y'all ignoring us? Something's not adding up. And it sucked. I felt so isolated during that time. So isolated. And not good enough. What a terrible combination of feelings. But it's one of those life lessons. Especially as someone like in life, I've never had to work super hard to get recognized for like accomplishments and things like that. Like it a lot of things like came easy to me in terms of tests, academics and stuff like that. Like I never even really applied myself because it was like easy for me because that's the way my mind works. And it's wild to me because the way schools are is just so flawed in this country because I could literally never go to a class and go to one study session and then get like the highest grade on the test. And that is not right. But it worked in my favor because I'm an excellent test taker and I don't have to attend the class. So I felt like I was scamming the system and I was getting far doing the bare minimum. Then I went to college and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm working hard and no one cares. So that was my first lesson in that where I was like, okay, well, that's interesting to me. And then with my art, I felt like because of all the circumstances that came in pretty early, like I started Coco Michelle in 2018, and right in the beginning of 2020, everything just started to line up for me, and I was like, ah, yes, my usual treatment, thank you. I will take that with ease and effortless elegance. And then when everything came crumbling down and I was working harder than I ever had and getting absolutely nothing in return, I was like, how long y'all expect me to do this for crumbs? I can't hang on to this forever. But you have to ride it out. Sometimes, not all the time, you're gonna have to put effort in and have absolutely nothing to show for it for a certain period of time. And it's a painful thing to have to experience, but it's also when you decide, is this worth it? And when I tell you, I beg of you, please understand that sometimes the answer is no. The answer is it's not worth it. And that is okay. That is okay. Sometimes you look at it and you say, this is absolutely not worth it, and I will not continue on this path. That's good. That's great. Tell yourself no. Don't suffer through things because your granddaddy told you never be a quitter. Quit. Quit playing with the one life you have, doing things that don't make you happy because you said that you wanted to do it at one point in your life. You've changed. It's okay. Let it go. You don't have to attach yourself to something just because you wanted it for so long. Sometimes you get a little taste of it and you're like, that's not at all what I thought this was going to be. And that's okay. We have to be able to quit and say, yeah, this isn't what I thought it was, or this no longer serves me for who I am and where I am in my life. So I'm going to pass. I'm glad that I gave it my best effort, and it is no longer worth it. It is no longer serving me. It is no longer valuable to me. And that's important to me. Preserve, because then you can open yourself up to what the real purpose is. Sometimes God puts us on a path that leads to what feels like nowhere, only for you to find where you really were supposed to end up. I went to school for fashion design. You couldn't tell me nothing. Couldn't tell me nothing. I knew I was going to be on Project Runway, just tearing up the sewing machine. I just knew it. I went to school. I sewed my first project. It was a blazer. I gave it to my mama. She put it on. It looked like, that sweater from the Cosby Show that Theo put on. It was giving very lopsided. It was giving very much, who made this and do they hate you? And I was like, wow, that's not how it looked on the mannequin. You can go ahead and take that off, and I will bury that in the backyard. So, by the end of my college experience, I was an excellent sewer, and I got designer of the year and all the accomplishments because that's my MO. I have to excel. I have to be the best. I'm highly competitive, blah, 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 to a fault. And then I had the realization, I don't actually like this. I don't like sewing. I don't like making clothes. I like drawing the clothes. I like that very much. But to actually sit at a sewing machine, I don't want to do that. And I had to be honest with myself, like, wait a minute. When I first fell in love with fashion design, it was because someone taught me how to do fashion illustration. It's always been about the art, it's always been about the drawing. It was never about the clothes, it was about the art. And next thing you know, I'm an artist. Ain't that crazy? Took classes at Mood. Boy, my bag was ugly, but I was proud of it. Listen, I spent so much time at Mood. The thing is, as a hobby, I could get down with sewing. I could really get down with sewing. Now that the pressure is off. When the pressure was getting worse, hey, me and the machine, no thank you. But I made some beautiful gowns. My senior collection was stunning, stunning, stunning. I wonder what I can make now. I don't know. I'm a lot more creative now than I was then. Who knows? But what I would love to do is draw and just submit it to get produced. Make a quick tech pack and send that to the factory and have them make it. Cause I still got the designs. I still got the swag. I got it. It's in there. But in terms of thread and a needle, get somebody else to do it. And quickly. I'm still mad I didn't take classes for sewing and cast, so I could have saved my coins. What did you major in? Why did I think you were in fashion? Were you in communications with a Boubacar? Did I ever pitch to brands? Oh, visual communications. So I used to see you like in the A&D building and stuff because you were still in the arts. Did I ever pitch to brands as a designer or as an artist? All right. What time is it? 10:53. All right. As an artist, so I haven't actually. I've pitched to a couple of brands, like a cold pitch where I like emailed them a pitch, and I got a response from one brand, which is pretty good statistically because it was only like 3 brands that I reached out to, but they was on some whack stuff, so I was like, it's not giving. But what I usually do is when a brand reaches out to me with an idea, I will pitch what I think is a better idea. And I will sell them on why I think it's a better approach. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like a brand that I'm currently in negotiations with now, they wanted to do like a one-time project. And at this point, we're talking about a year-long partnership based off of the juices I got flowing in my mind. So I do, a little charm act. But a cold pitch, it's just tough. It's hard to even know who to talk to. Like, do I email the brand manager? Do I email the marketing team? Do I email the social media manager? Like, it's just like, who am I talking to? And do you even have any authority? Like, you're like talking to an intern and trying to get paid. It's like, this ain't what I saw for myself. So let's see. trying to decide. I want like a medley of colors for the flowers. Thinking maybe like sunsetty kind of colors, but not a sunset background. To be clear to all the sunset folks, don't get too excited. Okay? Don't get too excited by this, because I know how y'all get. I think I want the background to be blue. So I want colors that will play nicely against that light blue background. And when I say blue, I ain't talking denim. To be clear. You know, I gotta put all my disclaimers out there, because you know y'all gets to going. Alright. So I'm gonna start with rouge orange. I'm trying to think if I want this to be like a color in the middle and then blend outward. Maybe using the color that I used for the sun. Pretty. Okay. I see what I'm doing. Trying to bring some of the colors from the center of the page outward so that it has more continuity. You know, I'm always, thank God. I hope we left that frenzy in 2023. We'll see. We will see. Because I feel like the lives have been peaking at higher numbers than we had before. So I feel like we're getting some newbies that are making appearances. And we'll see what the new craze is. Because I feel like there's always something a brewing. And I don't know what it's finna be. I don't know. I need a show like Bob Ross. I know, I feel like, can TikTok handle all of this or not? TikTok, you might not be big enough for Big Coco, okay? We need to see Coco's name in lights. Yeah, right. Y'all know I get so much anxiety. Y'all know. But I feel like there's something on the horizon. There's something. I just don't know what. But I'm excited to just be present and be grateful for where I am. Because when I tell you, baby, what 2023 tried to destroy your girl, okay? And I still came out grateful. Whew. That was not easy. So 2024, come in, keep it cute. Keep it really cute, 2024. Let that white Prisma go. How dare you? She's the OG, and she's perfect for my little hands. I will never. I will be using this white Prisma until the wheels fall off. I have another one, and I feel like it's not as white. I feel like because she's seasoned. She's seasoned. She is short. She is short. And so am I. And so am I. It's alright. We're short together. And it's a beautiful thing. Short gang woo woo. I think people know that I'm short, but when they see me in person, it's like, wow. People are really like, wow, you are short. I'm like, no, I told you I was short. They're like, no, but you are short. I'm like, okay, not too much. Not too much. Take it easy. Because I also look shorter. Like I'm 5'1", but I look like 4'11". It's because my height is in my upper body. So when me and my husband sit down, you would think we're the same height. And then I got these little nubs for legs. So when I stand up, it's basically like I'm still sitting down. So it just makes me look even shorter. Feet be swinging. And you know, I got a little movement back there. So that also adds some extra height when you're sitting down. Okay? So when I sit down on that, it's giving feet swinging, kicking in the wind. Okay? It's fine. I've learned to accept it's part of my charm. It's part of my, it forces some sort of character development. I had to get a personality. Had to. It was going to be a wrap for me. They was going to hang me on the back of the door on the coat hanger. And I wouldn't be able to get down. So, perfect recipe for personality. Love that for me. A color by number bundle. That's so much work. It's so much work. It's too much work for me until I hire somebody where I could have time to dedicate to something like that. But it's very highly requested. So it's in the hopefully one day pile. Like I have like the people request this, but I'm probably not gonna do it pile, which is like an all men's coloring book, stuff like that. And then I have I would love to, but I don't know if I'm going to pile, like a kids coloring book. And then this will go into the if I can, I will pile, because it's so requested. Have AI do it. I'm not on the AI train yet, except for ChatGPT. That's my boy. Me and ChatGPT be kicking, okay? Like, what up, Chat? How you doing? But other than that, yeah, Chad been doing some of these pictures for me, matter of fact. I'm like, hey, let's do a little role play. Let's pretend. I be having all kinds of prompts. He know all about Coco Michelle. I don't be telling him too much though, because he will tell other people your business. you know, he will most certainly tell other people your business. Don't be putting nothing personal in there. I don't trust him. That's my dog though, but I don't trust him. He will be out here snitching. Like, and then she said, no. Don't put nothing in chat that you wouldn't want to see on Facebook. That's what I say. Facebook specifically, because we all know that that is the most savage, out of control. I think the way that they give Twitter, like, oh, Twitter is like the worst place on the internet. Facebook is hell on earth. There's nowhere worse than Facebook. Twitter, at least I could get a little kiki, a little chuckle, a little giggle out of Twitter. Facebook? No. Absolutely not. No, no, no. Every time I go on there, I'm like, oh my God, y'all can't be for real. The way you could literally post anything on Facebook and they will immediately believe it to be true, very concerning. Very, very concerning. That's where all those heathens got. Yeah, villain does. Twitter does get a bad rap. Facebook absolutely is the villain. It is the villain. And it has always been the villain. I remember so many times in high school, the things people will post on that app. I never saw anybody acting like that on MySpace. What is wrong with y'all? I saw the most tragic things on Facebook. Always. No, no, no. Yeah, Twitter really be having me like, all the giggles. The kind of giggles that you definitely have to repent for after. Like you gotta pray after you get on Twitter. Like, I know I laughed and I said I wasn't gonna go on there anymore. And I didn't even mean to be on there. I was trying to look up a video that someone referenced on TikTok. Next thing you know, I'm in it. It's too deep. But what I will say is there's a local like Facebook group for what's going around in my city. And I live in a predominantly white neighborhood. And the way these folks be on there like really attacking each other on Facebook, it's very interesting. It's very interesting because when I go to the grocery store, it's all hi, hello, how are you? And they get on these these Facebook posts. Wow. Wow. Why are you speaking to people like this? Oh, Paula's Best Dishes, every time. Every time. Every single time. Because I used to be scared of Twitter, okay? Twitter was a very scary place for me, okay? I didn't want to be seen on there. I was scared. I felt like any wrong move and boom, you're got. But, you just have to get to the right side. Are you going to see things that traumatize you along the way? Yes. And it's your responsibility to take care of that. Any secondhand trauma that you get along the way. But if you can last, if you can stand the test of time, you will get to the good stuff. Okay? You just open the app, you close your eyes. Okay? And you go straight to where you were headed. Don't look at anything. Don't touch nothing. Don't look at nothing. Just get to where you were going. But Twitter before this fool turned it into whatever the hell is where I would get all my news from. And I liked it very much. I did. I felt like it was very fast, very accurate. And I would hear about stuff way before my mama. She stayed quick with the news. I know that hashtag is a nice pick me up, you know, for the giggles, for the old time's sake. All right. So I'm gonna do this last flower, and then we'll pick up the rest tomorrow. I'll do a flip through of the calendar. It looks like this flower is tattooed because while it's wet, the ink is sinking through. Ooh, this marker smells really strong. Ugh. No, thank you, ma'am. Did not appreciate that. Assault on the nostrils. It's giving tropical. Stunning. Hey, Kay. I feel like I didn't even see you this whole time. Happy New Year. All right. Hello. So we don't have too much work to do on her tomorrow. Gotta come back and do a little bit more with her hair and her face. And then the background stuff. There's one more flower over here, but I'm tired. I don't feel like doing that. So, here is where... Oh. Here's where we are tonight. And then I will do... Sorry, guys. I got an avalanche of colored pencils. Okay. So now... Can y'all find somewhere to be? Dang, I'm trying to run a business here. Alright, so now I'll do a flip through so you guys can see the other pages in the calendar. So, of course, we're starting with January. Next is February. These are our cover girls. Can't wait to do that. Oh, April. Don't skip April. April and May are stuck together. Stop the madness. April. May. Love May. June is one of my favorites because of the butterflies from my mama. July, another bold baddie. August, woo woo. August gang. September, she's real cute. October, we get another chance to color her because I ruined her last time. Not her, but the video. November, stunning. And December. So, this is how it looks on the other side of what we colored. Just so you see what's happening. So there are no surprises. Wada bing, wada bing, wada bing, wada bing. And that's where I'll leave you. So these looked great. I will be on to finish this page tomorrow. I'll be on either at 9 or a little before. So like check in 8:45 to 9. You can turn your notifications on. TikTok's my biggest hater, so will they notify you? Probably not, but peace of mind, maybe one day. So thank you guys for hanging with me. It feels good to be back, starting the new year off right. Thank you all for joining. I love you. Have a great night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.